All right, everyone, hello. And welcome to number 195, Jyuratodus. Our Monster Hunter 20th Anniversary Countdown first appearance, Monster Hunter World. In fact, I think he might be the first world monster I ever killed. I think it was, like, the Jyuratodus in the demo for the beta? Something like that? Killed him with the dual blades, and I'm like, wow, he died really easy. Armor set looks pretty good. It's got kind of a classic knight-looking sort of design. I don't like that world-style weapon design. I know they were going for a whole thing with, like, very modular weapons that only sort of panned out. So I get why it looks that way, but to me, it always just looks unfinished. That's just my preference. I think there are people out there that like them. And you know what? I will not yuck their yum. Weapons themselves, a lot of raw. Tiny bit of water. Sharpness isn't bad. Affinity's kind of bad. Armor set, power prolonger. I think it's got a pretty good power prolonger thing. I think in general. I think it's got also a piece that's pretty good for decorations. As for what we're decoing in, we did put muck resistance in. I completely forgot that was a skill till somebody reminded me. And it should make the fight a little bit easier. You know, you don't want to get stuck in his mud, and, you know, you got to use your level 1 slots for something anyways. Hit zone-wise, he does take water while he's got mud on him. Once you get rid of that, he's just super weak to raw, and, yeah, I mean, he takes some thunder. I wouldn't say he's particularly great with thunder. As for ailments, it's pretty much paralysis and stun. Stun, really, I mean, it's very low. If you were to be using sticky on him, I don't know if he would ever move. At least not in World. In this game, I don't know. He's a little bit more wily. The reason we chose to fight him in Rise is he feels there's like more of a real monster. He actually hits kind of hard. In fact, I remember when I was doing SOSs, I regularly found people in multiplayer posting his HR urgent in high rank. He roars. He's like a little bit of like a mud sniper, which he doesn't feel like he does the move as much in master rank for some reason. But I remember seeing him like running around, like lining up his shot and hitting you with the mud. He does that hip check and this dive a ton now. Oh. Not as much of a fan of monsters that play mega keep away with that. I mean, at least if they're in the air, like, you might be able to flash them or hit them, but, like, when they're fully submerged, like Diablos, Monoblos, Jyuratodus, you just gotta, like, wait. Hermitar, not a huge fan. I don't mind if it's quick, and I guess Jyuratodus makes it pretty quick, but there's a lot of monsters that are just like, well, I guess I'll sharpen and heal and cook a steak while I wait for them to figure out whatever their midlife crisis is. See, I wouldn't necessarily recommend water against him. I don't even know if I'd really super recommend thunder. I mean, he just takes such good raw damage. Now, Rise is a little bit of a special exception. You can make pretty much any element work if you start turbocharging with like sort of Valstrax stuff, but I guess at the end of the day, he is still just a Jyuratodus. I feel like 20% in Rise is where I kind of like to see the elemental value. By the way, almost died. I did not upgrade this armor set at all. This is full-on base defense. I probably should have put at least like a few armor spheres in. It doesn't feel like it's balanced without at least a few points of armor upgrade. It could be an interesting challenge playing with no armor upgrades. The real thing is the wirefall recovery. I'm not going to complain about it, but if I were to do a rebalance pass, I think if you just made wirefall recovery be a long cooldown recovery for the wire bug, I think that would fix pretty much everything. The issue is like when you go to rebalance games, and this is like mostly broadly applicable to everything. Most people, when they do a rebalance, like, oh, I need to make my favorite weapon stronger. Some people might download a mod like that because like, wow, I want my favorite weapon stronger too. When you rebalance a game and you just, you know, make things harder, I feel like There's a lot less people that are likely to take interest in that. I don't know. Maybe someday. The only reason I wouldn't remove Wirefall entirely is because there's absolutely a lot of moves in this game that are more or less designed that, you know, you're going to get a grab or a pin or be launched up in the air, and they want to make sure that you have a wire bug available to get out. You know, Sonic Bombs probably would work here. They work in World really, really well. Although he doesn't feel like he digs that often in World. He does, occasionally. But I've definitely gotten fights before where he's never even had a chance to dig. I guess the truly mysterious thing is, like, how did he beat so many monsters? Like, all right, real talk. I voted for Queen Vespoid. But, like, that's such a weird and cool monster. Who's voting for Jyuratodus? And the worst part is like in World, like, you needed to fight him so much if you wanted like a Valhazak weapon. Almost all of his weapons required like a ton of Jyuratodus fins. At least in Rise, he is, you know, for the most part optional outside of a few quests. I think he is mandatory at least once in the high rank guild. Well, that's it. Not my best performance with Charge Blade, but then again, you know, I'm not going to consider myself a Rise Jyuratodus maxer, so that's on me. Jyuratodus Hard Fang, a large fang of a Jyuratodus. No prey can escape once pierced by its muddied point. Jyuratodus Grand Fin, a powerful Jyuratodus fin that allows for easy transversal through mud. Extremely rigid, yet versatile. I feel like those item descriptions got better in Rise compared to World. I don't know what happened there. All right, that's Jyuratodus. I don't really dislike him, but I wouldn't even put him in the top 90% of monsters. The monster that I would put nearly all the way down on the list. Oh, you're going to hear it from me. Nightshade Palomu. What a failure of a monster he was. I'm sorry if you like him, but he sucks. I'll get into it tomorrow. Thank you for watching. I love you. Goodbye.